We start your day here on Steelers Talk with some breaking news. The Pittsburgh Steelers are signing safety Jabrill Peppers after he was surprisingly released by the New England Patriots before the start of the 2025 NFL season. Of course, last week in our season opener versus the Jets, DeShon Elliott goes down with a knee injury. Now the Steelers are bringing in Peppers, one of the most versatile safeties in the National Football League. Before we get into this signing, my thoughts on it, we also got a very big injury update on DeShon Elliott today. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button because this is why you sub to the channel. Every time that there's big news, injury news, a signing, if the Steelers make a trade before the trade deadline, we're going to get you guys breaking news coverage for free on this channel every single time, whether I'm taking my engagement photos like I was last week when the Cam Heyward news came down, or whether I'm here in studio, whether I'm on vacation. It doesn't matter, guys. When breaking news hits for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm getting you a video. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button to join the Steelers Talk family today. So the news was broken by Ian Rappaport of NFL Network today, saying former Patriot safety Jabrill Peppers, a surprise release after cut-down day, is expected to sign with the Steelers per me and Mike Garafolo. They've agreed to terms. And then yesterday, Jabrill Peppers posted this, kind of indicating, we talked about it on the show actually, that he might be coming somewhere. And a lot of people thought it was going to be the Steelers. And it turns out it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Jabrill on his way to Pittsburgh. I'm guessing he's going to be this team's starting strong safety for this week's game against the Seattle Seahawks, especially because we got an injury update on DeShon Elliott, and it's not ideal, but it certainly could be a lot worse. Jordan Schultz from Fox Sports says, sources, Steelers safety DeShon Elliott is expected to miss a couple of weeks with an MCL sprain. All things considered, it's not viewed as a serious injury. The goal is to be back for Week 4 versus the Vikings in Ireland. In the meantime, Pittsburgh has signed Jabrill Peppers. So at least for the next 2 games here. So you're playing the Seattle Seahawks here in Week 2. And then you move into the Ireland game in Week 4, and you're hoping that DeShon Elliott is going to be able to be back by then. But like when he left the game, man, he was limping around. It was not looking good. It was looking like that he might miss some significant time. So just to miss 2 games here, I think is pretty darn good news if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan here when it comes to DeShon Elliott. And it's abundantly good news as well. You're getting some really much needed safety depth and a really good starting strong safety to replace Elliott after that unfortunate injury. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. What is your one-word reaction to signing Jabrill Peppers? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Ethos. And after I'm done talking about Ethos, I'm going to let you guys know my one-word reaction. But while I'm talking about today's sponsor, let me know your one-word reaction to this signing. And now let's have word from our sponsor today at Ethos. And guys, the summer before I started here at Chat Sports, I unfortunately lost my late grandfather, and as you tend to do when you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, you start to deal with your own mortality and what would happen to the people dependent on you if something were to happen. With today's sponsor, Ethos, your family is protected. Cassie and I are getting married soon, and shortly after that, I imagine we'll buy a house and start having some kids. If something were to happen to me, I want the last thing the people I love to worry about is being able to pay the bills, so I trust Ethos to keep them protected. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There's no complicated process, and it's 100% online. There's no medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions to get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos today. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily to get your free quote today. So my one word for this Jabrill Peppers signing is lucky. And the reason why the Steelers are lucky is because they're extremely fortunate to have a player of this caliber available to them here with DeShon Elliott injury happening here in Week 1. And you're also very lucky that this wasn't a worse injury for DeShon, where it's an MCL sprain. He's going to miss a couple of weeks, and hopefully he'll be back for the Ireland game in Week 4. But Jabrill, he's about to turn 30 years old. He's a little bit of an older player, kind of a late bloomer, kind of had a slow start to his NFL career, but over the last several seasons in New England, he's been one of the best safeties in the National Football League, brings good size to the table at 217 pounds, really athletic player still at his age, and then also something to keep in mind, guys, and maybe part of the reason why he was released by the New England Patriots is he was arrested on domestic violence and drug charges last year in October. Now he was acquitted of those charges in January 2025. He's been taken off the commissioner's exempt list. He's good to go, But just keep that in mind here, as that is something in his recent past that's worth keeping tabs on. But, the Patriots people, their beat writers, all the people that watched him during the preseason and during training camp were shocked that he was released. He had a good training camp, good preseason, and I think that the Patriots probably just let him go because of character concerns, fit inside that culture. Mike Vrabel is trying to build up a new culture there in New England. Maybe they didn't want Jabrill in their locker room, but I think that if Jabrill is going to fit anywhere in the National Football League, if he's going to fit in anywhere, he's going to fit inside of Mike Tomlin's culture here in Pittsburgh, and hopefully he's going to be able to have a very fruitful 2025 campaign right here with the black and gold. But you can take a look here at his last 4 seasons in the league, and last year cut short, obviously put on the commissioner's exempt list, but he did have an interception, 2 PBUs, and a forced fumble though in the 6 games he did play. And then in 2023, he was one of the best safeties in the league. He was probably a top 10 safety in the game that year. 8 PBUs, 2 interceptions, and another forced fumble. In terms of his skill set, guys, he's going to bring a lot of athleticism, attitude, and versatility to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Okay, he's got fantastic athleticism for his age. Like I said, he's about to turn 30, but he brings a lot of veteran experience to the Steelers defense here. Of course, this is a very experienced veteran group defensively here in Pittsburgh, so he fits right in with that. But he's also a fantastic run defender. He's played actually a little bit of linebacker in his NFL career. You can tell that by a little bit of the size that he brings to the table, almost 220 pounds. He takes on blocks really well. He can play in the box. Everything that DeShon Elliott does as a fantastic box safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Peppers, I don't think, is quite as good as DeShon is, but he's just a step below that. He might even be a little bit of a better athlete, more explosive athlete than DeShon is. I think DeShon's probably the slightly more consistent tackler, but you're not getting much of a drop-off here with Jabrill Peppers these 2 weeks here, while DeShon Elliott is still recovering from that MCL sprain. So, and then another thing that I love about this signing, guys, is that even when Elliott does return, Pittsburgh has legitimate safety depth moving forward, all right? You still have Juan Thornhill, who I've been really impressed with here, at least to this point, during the training camp, preseason, and then the start of the season. I think Thornhill has played very good football here to start his Steelers tenure. And then when Elliott comes back, he's your full-time strong safety. And when you have Peppers open to do more things, you can really get creative with the way you deploy him. You can put him out there as kind of like a dime linebacker or as a bandit linebacker and play those 3 safety packages that we know Mike Tomlin likes to bring out and has brought out plenty of times in the past. And, if you have a guy like Jabrill Peppers who can be a versatile weapon for you, and you have Jalen Ramsey, who's also a versatile chess piece on this defense, Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin would have to be idiots to not get the most out of this Steelers secondary this year. Now, obviously, the big issue with the Steelers right now, or at least after week 1, is up front, right? The interior of the defensive line and the linebackers need to play a whole lot better in run defense in order for the Steelers defense to reach its potential. But in terms of replacing DeShon Elliott's role in this defense for the next 2 weeks while he recovers from this MCL sprain, the Steelers couldn't really ask for a better option, in my opinion, in NFL free agency. I think Peppers was the best free agent still available on the open market, and the Steelers were able to bring him here to the Steel City. So very excited to see what he's going to be able to bring to this Steelers defense this year. He brings legitimate depth to this position. So if Juan Thornhill gets injured, if Elliott has another setback with his knee this year, whatever the case may be, you got Jabrill Peppers, who can play in the box, but he's also got the athleticism and the speed to play free safety, all right? This is kind of the big reason why I think they're bringing him in versus a guy like Chuck Clark, guys, because Chuck just doesn't have the speed anymore, all right? He's getting older. He pretty much has to play a true strong safety role at this point in his career, in my opinion, even though Chuck's played plenty of free safety in his career, just doesn't have the wheels anymore, but Peppers certainly does, all right? So if something were to happen to Thornhill, you can put Peppers there, but of course he's got the size and the block take-on ability and the run defense and the tackling ability to certainly play strong safety here over the next few weeks while DeShon Elliott heals up. So grade the signing for me down there in the comment section. Grade the Jabrill Peppers signing down there in the comment section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. Let me know how you're feeling about the newest Steelers defender. And for me, guys, before I say goodbye, I'm going to share my grade here, which is an A. I think that this is about as good of a free agency signing as you could have asked for, at least at this point in the NFL schedule. There's just not a whole lot of good players and established good players on the open market at this point in the NFL schedule, especially at a big position of need now because DeShon Elliott's going to be missing at least the next couple of weeks with that injury. Very fortunate here to have a player of this kind of caliber available to, and very fortunate that DeShon Elliott is going to be just fine in the long run here. So really good stuff for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense here, guys. This just makes me feel even better about this Steelers defense as we head on, as we continue on here in the 2025 NFL season. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We'll probably get you guys another Steelers video here later in the evening here to talk about the latest news and rumors. Maybe we'll go a little bit more in depth on Jabrill Peppers, talk about some other stuff today that comes up. So make sure you click that subscribe button and join us later today for our second Steelers Talk video of the day.